Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be taking a look at whips and whip artistry. We'll look at whips and the similarities between whips and one of our planet's powerful forces of nature. Along the way we'll give breakdowns of some of the whip techniques you might see. Whips have a history of appearances in movies: Indiana Jones, Agent Whiskey from the Kingsman movie, The Hunger Games, the movie Underworld where a vampire had two whips, the sword-fighting and whip-cracking hero Zorro, and old cowboy movies where cowboys lead herds of cattle to market, and stagecoach drivers use whips on their runs through the American West in the movies. Despite being a weapon of justice in the movies, there are hazards in learning how to use a whip. It's possible to get severe injuries, including vision or hearing loss. This video is not meant to teach how to use a whip. It's recommended that learning should be done under the supervision of an expert who can teach and recommend the use of safety equipment. Whips should never be used to strike another person, animal, or property. First question: how hard is it to learn how to crack a whip? Most people can learn with an instructor how to crack a whip in 5 to 15 minutes. Then what? That's where whip artistry begins. How can you define whip artistry? I like to look at it this way. It's like dancing with a whip. The whip is a person, and you're trying to find a happy place where you and the whip are moving and coordinating as one person. One of the fun things about whip artistry is that the potential is unlimited. You can feel free to discover and perfect new techniques of your own. Now let's show a technique: the body wrap. The body wrap allows you to change the timing and direction of the whip by wrapping the whip around your body with a continuous flow. One of the secrets to cracking a whip is forming a loop, then sending the loop to accelerate down the length of the whip until it's traveling faster than the speed of sound. That loud cracking sound you hear is actually a sonic boom. There are 3 steps to forming the loop: prepare, execute, and follow through. Let's analyze forming a loop with the overhand throw. First, we'll take a look at it at normal speed. Now we'll take a look at it in slow motion. We'll identify the 3 steps: prepare, execute, and follow through. To prepare, the whip goes forward, up, and behind you. When your hand comes forward, you execute and form the loop, and you follow through and send the loop down the entire length of the whip. And again, to prepare, we send the whip up and in back. When your hand comes forward, you execute, forms a loop, and bam, there it is. Then you send a loop down the rest of the length of the whip to complete the technique. For the 3rd time, let's put it all together. Whip comes up, and see if you can find the loop. Did you see the loop? Now we'll go back to normal speed. Now see if you can identify the loop now that you know where to look. The normal question at this point is, sonic boom, how does a whip do this in a short distance of an 8-foot whip? Well, here's a quick explanation. Another secret of the whip is the taper, which means the body of the whip narrows. These are 2 matched and balanced bullwhips that can be used for 2 whip routines. You can see the thickest part of the whip is at the handle. From the handle, the body of the whip gets narrower and narrower until you reach the tip of the whip where you'll find the popper, the lightest part of the whip. The popper is made of twisted strings tied to the end of the whip. Poppers get a lot of wear and tear. They need to be replaced occasionally. The energy you put into the whip when you snap the handle goes further down the body of the whip with the taper. The further the energy goes down the body of the whip, there's less whip weight for the energy to move, so the energy goes faster and faster until it's moving faster than 700 miles an hour. Anything that's going that fast has gone supersonic. It's broken the sound barrier and creates a sonic boom. There's a force in nature that produces sonic booms regularly. It's a thunderstorm. There are two parts of the thunderstorm we're concerned with here: the light show, that's lightning, and the loud noise, thunder. With the light show, science tells us lightning travels 186,000 miles per second. It also tells us the temperature of lightning is 50,000 degrees Fahrenheit. That's hotter than the sun. The sun has a temperature around 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Thunder is the noisy part of a thunderstorm. It travels at the speed of sound. Both thunder and the tip of the whip travel at the same speed, 760 miles an hour. To give you an idea how fast 760 miles per hour is for the speed of sound, let's compare it to more normal speeds we're familiar with. The family car going 60 miles an hour on the highway, the whip is more than 10 times faster. Formula One race cars have speeds of 235 miles per hour. Whip is 3 times faster. Commercial jet airliner cruises between 500 and 600 miles per hour. Whips are faster. Our last example, a pistol bullet, travels at 650 miles per hour. Whips are just a little bit faster. In the end, comparing nature's booming thunder to the sound of a whip, nature uses a massive amount of energy to allow her sonic boom to be heard miles away after only a few seconds. The whip sonic boom is a more localized sound, but science is interesting in that despite the huge difference in the initial energy input from lightning, both obey the rules that say thunder and the sound produced by a whip are limited to the same speed. Whip Artistry, one whip. Let's show a technique. Parking. Park the whip on the opposite arm and wait to change the tempo to perform either a horizontal or vertical throw. There are many specialties and benefits to whip artistry. Exercise. It's surprising the workout you get for your arms, shoulder, your back, and abs. Hand-eye coordination. Learn how to use both your left and right hands, as well as learning how to place the whip exactly where you want it. Meditation. When you get into it, whip artistry can be relaxing. You can focus on your balance and breathing. With a whip, it can give you a break from your troubles of the day. Martial arts basic training. The whip is not a traditional martial arts weapon. It can be an aid to training because it can help with coordination, timing, mental focus on the moment, changing directions, and awareness of your surroundings. Juggling. Coordination and timing at its best. Juggling and cracking 2 or 3 whips at the same time. Targeting. Cutting flowers from the hands of an assistant requires lots and lots of training and a trusting assistant. Snuffing candles requires exact placement of the whip to generate the puff of air needed to put out a candle. Fire whips. What seems more entertaining than cracking a whip? Some people think setting a fire whip on fire and then cracking it. Finally, competition. There are good places to see whip artistry. Here's a few events. The annual Annie Oakley Festival near Dayton, Ohio, in California, West Coast Whip Convention in Los Angeles, Texas, and Oklahoma. Check out state fairs and rodeos. If you have an opportunity to travel down under, the Australians are the best competitors and expert whip makers. They're the best in the world right now. That's real entertainment. With Artistry, 2 whips. Thanks for watching. Hope you liked this video. Please give a big thumbs up, like and subscribe below. Look for us at wingsactivitiesgroup.com. See you next video.